我们加油！我觉得很酷，吃饱了是吗？
是的。
OK， 那我要说英文，因为我怕我中文不好。我要看看卧龙在哪里，不要睡觉啊。So, thanks everyone being here, and I'm really glad you have chosen me to give my part of training that is dedicated to the, let's say, to the most important ones, to the new generation that's gonna come after us. And I was thinking how to start this lesson, and I decided that I'm gonna tell you why I decided to work with kids and to dedicate my, let's say, life to kids. First of all, it's because we're not gonna lie to each other. Now we have a lot of things to face, especially violence, racism, disrespect, and so on. So I want to build a new generation of kids who are gonna feel exactly opposite thing. We're gonna be respectful. We're gonna show understanding to different cultures, to different languages, and be able to understand. And the best way to understand other cultures is by a language. I guess you understand because you are Slovak friends. Slovak, you know, I think this is totally different language now because I, you know, English, and I think this is Slovak. It's like, yeah, Slovak friends. That decided to study Chinese, and I can see some other familiar faces that I'm working with already. And so let's start multilingual education in the kindergarten. So, I think I need some introduction to this one. Where is it? Help. I think I'm upside down. Okay, or I can use the... No. Right, I can use this. No, I can use this. This will be easier. It's about understanding, because if you learn the language, this language can bring you directly to the other culture. So with the language you understand also habits and way of thinking of other people. So in this picture you can see something that was my main goal, and it was, these are the kids from one classroom. And in this picture you can see the kids of ambassadors. You can see one parent kids, single mom kids, and you can see the war refugees. So I put these kids together to build a better generation, the generation that will respect each other. So at the same time you can see like 3 different color of skin of the kids, and they still don't understand, or they don't see the difference, right? They don't ask why Charlie is black. They ask why Charlie doesn't drink milk, right? This is the mind that we can start working with. This is the pure soul that you can start with them to help them understand. Okay, so as I said, the culture or the understanding of the culture go with the language. So here you can see how we work with kids. It's the same way. I have teachers from all around the world that work with kids. Here we have a Chinese teacher, and here we have our English teacher. And also kids, the only thing is different that they use different language to talk to kids, but we have kids from different countries talking different languages, and the way to use the language is not like we're gonna have, I don't know how much you remember from your kindergarten. I don't remember much, but the only thing I know, it was this flashcards, or like, you know, car, say car, and the picture of car, right? I can say it didn't work well, because by the age 15 I was still not good at English, because like, this way wasn't the right way. And I was thinking, what's the best way? And I used my own experience living in China. Slovak 朋友, how many of you went to China? Okay, with already decent Chinese, right? Able to speak at least 你好, 怎么走, 多少钱? Okay, I ended up in Beijing airport 15 years ago, and I asked the guy working at international airport, like, how to go, and he was like, so 0 English and me 0 Chinese. That time I even didn't know that I can not use Google. Stupid me, I didn't check much before I went there. It was, and this is the best way how to learn. Go, live, daily life, natural way, that's the best way to do. So in kindergarten we don't really use flashcards, because it's not working. We use the way, as you can see, just naturally talking. Reading books, showing pictures, but this way, right? Reading together and talking. Our teachers, we have like every day, in the morning and in the afternoon, we have group 2 and 2 teachers, but both of them are from different country or speak in different language. So let's say in the morning, I have there Faye Lauscher, she's here, with the Slovak music teacher, right? Totally 2 different teachers, totally 2 different languages, and both of them speak to the kids how it is, right? Like how they come, how they feel, what they want to say, they say it in their language. And now we come why it's so and why it works. Okay, one very clever Slovak guy said, how many languages you know, that many times you are a human being. Tomáš Garik Masaryk, Slováci vedia what it means. It's not only like make you a human because, or make you extra human because you know the language, but as you know, especially those like Chinese teachers knowing English, Slovak teachers knowing Chinese and so on, it's every time you want to use a different language, you have to change the way of thinking. You cannot use the same way of thinking, speaking Slovak and speaking English. And this means you also have to change your personality. Because changing the way of thinking change who you are. Because in Slovak I'm that person, but in English I'm that person. Because I think differently, and this way of thinking makes you somebody new. So it's not easy, and not everyone can really do it. Changing language that fast, and changing the way of thinking that fast. So this is the best way how to create the new generation of kids, to let them understand, being more understanding to the others by changing way of thinking, by being more human beings. Okay, so here we go, my favorite part, that every time I have new parents coming to kindergarten asking why Chinese? What's why we need to learn Chinese, and why kids? It's so early, and you know all the things that I have to face, because I don't know how many of you have actual experience with kids, teaching kids a language. I know at least 5 of you, but in another word, the kindergarten. But this is our brain, right? And we all are divided into 2 groups, right-handed and left-handed. Right-handed, that's for example me, are better in arts and having a lot of ideas, very creative and so on. And left-handed are those clever ones, or let's say more clever ones. I don't know how many of you are left-handed. Don't be shy. if you like. Don't be shy, just put the hand up. I'm left-handed, be proud of yourself, because you're probably more clever than all of us. But okay. So, this is how our brain works. Of course, it's not always like this, but studies said like 90%. And there is a chance, or there is a way to have it, to use both of them at the same time, and that's bilingualism. So kids who have bilingual parents are already able to use both parts of hemispheres or two hemispheres at the same time. And I guess most of you know that there are two languages that when you speak the language or you listen to language or you are able to use this language, you use both hemispheres at the same time. Do you know which languages are those? Two languages. Yeah, you know the answer. Which two languages allow you to use two hemispheres at the same time? Huh? Chinese, exactly, and I will tell you the answer, and Thai, these two languages. So that's the reason I tell the parents, not only your child will be able to understand the most used language in the world, but also from the early age, they will be trained to use both parts of their brain. How amazing it is. I wish I studied Chinese from my age of 2, then I wouldn't have really bad results from my math exams and so on. So that's the thing that I want. So that makes the Chinese people really great mathematicians.
What's makes them different than other languages?
It's because first of all they are tone languages. So at the same time you are speaking, thinking, and you need to also think in advance about the tone that you're going to use. So this combination of all of it, and also with like the signs. So the combination of all these parts of the language make them use the both hemispheres. So you combine the art with the sound, with the memory, and with everything. So that's what I can see that it really works well with kids from the early age learning to use. And how we practice, because yeah, of course, you come to kids. I prefer to have kids starting from the age of 2. Some of the kids still don't speak at the age of 2. Every child is individual, right? Some of the kids, like for example, my one already 2 years old, and I cannot stop him from speaking, right? Sometimes it's hard for me to say something, and I love to speak. But when I'm with my child, I hardly have a word to say because you just speak and speak and speak. And the opposite, but I have kids, they still don't speak. And they go to kindergarten. At the multilingual kindergarten, why do you think it is good for them if they don't speak yet? Why do you think it's great for them to start that early? Why do you think it's better age of 2 than age of 3?
To express their demand.
Okay, yeah, sure, definitely. And great, thank you, Ran. And also because they are learning their mother tongue. They are still learning, right? At the age of 4, they still not completely know their mother tongue. There are some words they are missing. There are still some constellation of sentences they are not able to say. There are still some grammar things they don't know how to comment. And exactly that's the age where it's the best to start with another foreign language, because as many languages as you give them as a mother languages, that many they're gonna learn. But it doesn't work with the flashcards, right? 车，大家说车。No, okay, it must be with all the emotion, with all the time, with all the love, because the synonym with the mother, with the word mother is also love, right? So you need to also give a little bit of love to them to make them learn the same way as a mother tongue. But yeah, that's how it works. So if they listen and they are in touch with this language for every day, they're gonna be able to learn it exactly the same way or the same level as their mother tongue. So here we go. Okay, for example, this is how we train them, right? This is how they train their both hemispheres, right, left hand. They follow these pictures to be able to use both hemispheres at the same time, right? Because Chinese kids probably are able to use both hemispheres from the very early age, but Slovak kids not. And we always push them to use one hand, and we always push them to use the strong part. But so that's why we have to change them to be able to use both of them. So we have these tools, and that's great. Okay, this is some challenge. How to teach when nobody understands. I know what I'm talking about because I went to China, as I mentioned, zero Chinese language, and I was learning, and believe me, I said a lot of bad words without wanting to say the bad words because it was just I didn't learn the Chinese at university or at school or somewhere. I was just using the street language, Tangshanghua, and I was confused, and I was using the wrong accents and a lot of misunderstanding, and so I know how this feels. So I created a concept of lessons to let the kids be able to get well in this language. Of course, because you cannot have kids sitting like this by the age of 2, right? You cannot sit them and say, okay, listen, here is the lesson, this we're gonna learn. So I created this concept to that every lesson has some extra meaning for them to get better in what they're doing. So I'm gonna show you, of course, kids, music, songs, 春天在哪里呀, and so on. That's how it works. So here we have, they have lessons of whatever music instrument, piano, flute, drums, just to get used to listen to sound, because they need to understand listening and be able to listen and know the rhythm. When they know the rhythm, it's easier for them to learn the language. So starting just with some clapping, right? Shake, 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 whatever. I love to use maracas, right? The maracas is perfect. They love it because it makes noise, and at the same time they are learning to select the words and to combine and to sing the songs and so on. And, oh, no, okay, here it is, there it is. I'm going to show you just simple, how simple it is. Okay, during the lesson, just so this easy it is. Just do something and at the same time singing. They love it. Parents are happy because kids come home singing something they have no idea what is it. But that's why we also, with this concept, the parents are like, oh, we went to zoo, and I asked my child, what animal is that? And my child was just yelling, Banma, Banma, Banma. But I don't know, is it Chinese? So that's why I opened like a Chinese lesson for parents to be able to understand kids. And they love it. They love it. They really come with the notebooks, with pen. And after the first lesson, I was like, no, wait. Because this is the difference between teaching kids and teaching adults. Because kids, they cannot understand, or they cannot know that they are learning. They have to understand, we are playing, this is fun. I love the teacher. I have no idea what they are saying for first, second, and third week, but the first one, I can say, bonjour, niao niao. And now we go, and it's slowly they go, okay, so where I was. Okay, and here we have martial arts. Kung Fu. I have to tell you, first when I was trying to do this concept, I was thinking, wow, Tai Chi. Yes, this calm movement, concentration. 3-year-old kids? No. No way. No way. It lasts like 3 seconds for them to concentrate. But then, I was like, let's do Kung Fu. Oh, it's perfect. After Kung Fu lesson, they are perfectly concentrated, they are perfect calm down, because they put all the energy there to yelling, using power, and then here we have them ready for lesson because they already get out all the anger that they bring from home, because you know at home the mom is like, no, don't do that, sit down, that, and they hear it. Where is Bobo? I wanted to tell him like how great Kung Fu teacher he is, and he left. Okay, so our Kung Fu teacher just, but he told me, Dana, maybe I will fall asleep. I hope he's not sleeping somewhere, because when he comes I need to thank him. He prepared a lot of performance with kids that we had the chance even to show it to the Chinese ambassador, Zheng, and he was impressed. He was impressed how great it really works with kids, and they enjoy it. But we only start from the age of 3. And now soon we're gonna have it in Banska Bystrica, so around you will have kids more calm, especially what's his name? Marcel, yes. After Kung Fu, Dema will be like a little angel, don't worry. So yeah, we will have it there as well, but we need to make it. So Kung Fu, perfect way to teach, and they can learn counting every time. Wait, what do I say? Now we have calligraphy. Best way to teach kids language, especially Chinese, because they love to paint, they love leaving something on the paper, and it can really show them being patient, pay attention to what they do, paying attention to the details, right? We have our favorite teacher here that teaches kids calligraphy, and she's amazing. Now kids are able to write a lot of characters, and it also, they see some results after what they do, and they're also learning how these words were created, like why this character look like this, and they're very interested in this. So it's also a great lesson that, guys, okay, mathematics. Whatever you do with kids, count. Kid doesn't want to go? Let's go 10 more steps. E, R, son. And here you go. They listen the language, right? I hear you by the stairs down, right? You were teaching kids counting. Great idea, you see? Perfect way to use mathematics. So they count, and we use system Numicon, and now I want to show you. I need to be a proud mom. I never spoke Chinese to my son. He's 2 years old, and on the way to Banska Bystrica, in the car, I was like, wow, okay, I never thought of this. It was my teachers that told me. So in the age of 2, he understands the concept of numbers. He can count by himself in 3 different languages, just because we use numbers to motivate them. We use numbers to show the pictures. So that's, I forgot time running my car. I wanted to play with you, but next time. So that's great. Okay, so here we have, sorry. Okay. Scent therapy. That's something that I added because the kids were sometimes frustrated for not being able to express themselves, especially when they were like with Chinese teacher and they wanted to tell a story or something, and they were not able because their vocabulary is very limited. So we created lessons of scent therapy. It's opposite from the Kung Fu. In Kung Fu they are very like aggressive, but they need it. The kids in this age need it. And scent therapy exactly calm them down. They can paint there, and we can use again different balls. We are counting how many balls, how many circles we are painting, which colors are those. Polga was mentioning how great Kung Fu teacher you are, but you left. Just to tell you, yeah. So scent therapy can really let their brain relax and calm down. We cannot have these 2 lessons together, right? The first Kung Fu and then we give them scent therapy. Also, you have to have any logic way, right? Because it will not work this way. So, and then we have Tangra. It's a Chinese game, you know, right? It's a Chinese game, and that's the perfect tool to use because it's you have different shapes, you have different colors, you have different size of the thing. So just by this toy, you can teach them big and small and middle and square and triangle and green, red, yellow. So every time you play this with them, and you can create animals, you can create buildings, you can create whatever you want. So they are playing, creating, and learning at the same time. Okay, when we come to mathematics, I want to show you how it works opposite way. We have this Chinese girl, USC, that came to kindergarten with 0 Slovak, 0 English, right? No one at all. And now I'm going to show you the opposite way, how the Slovak teacher work with kids that doesn't speak the language. I don't know if you heard it, but she was coming in Slovak. Exactly this way of like but that's Slovak teachers working the same way with the Chinese kids. Okay, so for example, this tangram lesson, at the moment you can see, notice they're having the lesson, but this lesson can be done with English teacher, can be done with Slovak teacher, and can be done with Chinese teacher or with a Spanish teacher. It doesn't matter who is important, like to let the kids understand the meaning of the game, and then they are just getting the vocabulary and using more words and using it in different languages. Because if the English teacher say, this one is too big and this one is too small, the next week there is a chance, and so on. So they know the concept and they are just remembering the vocabulary by playing. Okay, and it's very important to get parents involved, because if we are talking about multilingual family, it's important to play the role of the family. So as I mentioned, we wanted to help parents understand why it is important their kids to understand languages, and also let them to understand a little bit more what we do, so they can continue at home and talking about what they learned, how was the day, and even practice some vocabulary together. So we have, as you can see, we have this New Year celebration. We were doing dumplings with parents and kids together at the kindergarten. It was a great activity, so they had a chance to get better with the teachers, knowing more about the culture, knowing more about some customs, and practice some words they learned before from the teacher, and so on. So that's the concept of the family. So here you see it, multilingual family. Because kids want to feel protected, kids want to feel safe, kids want to feel loved, and that's what is the main goal for letting them understand language. Teacher must be there to be around to protect them, right? To talk to them. So it's not like if you yell at them with the language, they will not care. They will not want to be close to you. So you need to show them. You need to give them your attention. You need to give them your love. You need to give them your time, and be very patient, because the kids are different. Some kids are super clever. They are so calm. Some are aggressive. Some are hyperactive. And so you need to learn to work with kids individually. And that's why it's better to have not like the governmental kindergarten that you have 25 kids and one teacher. Honestly, those teachers are superheroes to me, because I don't know how can they do that. It's impossible to me. So that's why for the group of 10, we have 2 teachers at the same time to work with kids, to be able to help them. And so they have to feel loved. So also, we need to spend the quality time together. And what means quality time? So you are not being a teacher. It's not only you go there to teach them lesson, you prepare for the lesson, and that's it. The most important time is the time out of the lesson. Because lesson, yeah, we have some topic. Let's say, what's the topic of this next week? Yeah, on the farm. Oh yeah, we're gonna learn some animals in Chinese. We're gonna learn some animals in English, in Spanish, so on, in Slovak. And so, but the quality time means the time out of the lesson. We go to eat together, right? The teacher must be there. Teacher must speak all the time. We go to wash hands, and again, you can choose your way to teach. Like if you're going to wash hands and you say, sing it, right? This is the way we wash our hands, right? Something that the melody they know and they connect it to the action, so they learn the words. It's the same with Chinese, right? We go downstairs, we are counting, and we can sing counting. We go to sleep, so we sing them some song, or we read them a story. Of course, they don't understand the story, but you can speak and the language will calm them down. So they will understand this is the language that it's safe for you, that it's the language that help you to feel safe, right? But if you have this language connected to something that you are afraid of, you will not be, or they will not be able to learn this language. Or yeah, as I said, during eating, oh, what are you eating? Do you want some water? Eat a little bit more, it's good for your health, right? 多喝水, that's my favorite. Summer, 40-degree Beijing, 多喝水, okay. So, always be there and always speak to them. During walking, best time to speak, right? You can let kids choose the song they want to sing, and also all the people around will be interested, like, wow, what's that? Like, what a happy kindergarten, right? What language are they speaking? Wow, Chinese? You know, like imagine this concept in Banska Bystrica. I'm from Bystrica, right? And you see the bunch of kids walking with the Brazilian and Chinese, right? You must be like in Rajasthan, okay, another one. But in Banska Bystrica, people must be like, okay, wow, this is something really, really cool. Our kids are getting to know more about culture, more about colors, more about whatever. That's what we need. So this is why I'm very happy that young parents understand this concept. So every single minute is important. When you are around kids, every single minute that you are quiet, it's waste of time. Because, I don't know if you've heard this sentence, but kids' brain are like sponge. As much you pull the water on the table and they will absorb and absorb and absorb. So every quiet minute with kids is waste of time. Because they love to repeat, they love to imitate, they love to learn, and they just love to be like adults, because they always choose someone to be their hero, their idol, and they just want to be as them. So if you are that teacher, but of course, like, there are some signs that you cannot show. You cannot show kids you're afraid of them. Then you lost, because they will not listen to you at all. So you need to show them you love them. But at the same time, you need to show them, like, but you have to respect me. So you have to be cool, but not show them that you are stressed or you don't know what to do. So you must be like them. Be one of them. Don't feel like, respect them. So this respectful atmosphere is also very important. Don't show them you are bigger than them, you're stronger than them, you are more clever than them, and you have power over them. It will also not work. Respectful atmosphere is the best way to have them on your side, and they'll learn from you. Do you have questions? Okay, also I want to compare, because some of you, or most of you, are teaching adults, right? And I don't need to tell you that there is a huge difference between teaching adults and teaching kids. But when you teach kids, yeah, like that. When you teach adults, it's just you get, or you teach, or you work with what you get, right? Because they want to learn. They have chosen it. It was their decision to go to study. They already are big enough to make their own decisions. But the kids, it was parents' choice. And they still don't know, like, what for. But if you take time of, let's say, half a year, and you would have 2-year-old child and 30-year-old student, and you will teach them the same way, or not same way, same thing. Let's say animals, colors, numbers. The 2-year-old child in 6 months will be way further than 30-year-old person in half year, because of the way that the brain works. Because exactly at that age, their brain is this, and you can make it grow, 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 grow. And the brain can grow that big as much information you put in there. It's unlimited. More you put, bigger the memory will be. So that's why I think Chinese is a great language to start in the age of 2. First of all, because Chinese language increases memory by the concept how the language is, right? We also have this calligraphy. So imagine the kid of the age 2, they already know or they already see the Chinese characters. And they know, okay, 这是狗, 这是猫, 这是不知道什么什么. So they know, they recognize the characters. And that already let them help to increase their memory just by Chinese characters, just to showing them. Okay? I don't want the 2-year-olds to be able to write down something. But they know when they look at this, they can put the picture of the dog exactly connected with the word dog, because they memorize and their brain grow. Of course, Chinese language is perfect for IQ. This is the way that more you put, this is the concept that I said in the beginning. Combination of tones, of the vocabulary, of the pictures, it increases the IQ of not only people. Actually, since I speak Chinese, I feel much more clever. Just kidding. No, I feel like memory full. You know, if you feel it sometimes, like when you have like the phone, iPhone is like memory full. You need to delete something. So this is the adult problem, right? Our brain in this age is already like you need to delete something to get more. But the kids' brain work different. More you put, more they're gonna memorize. So that's the perfect way. And you can see the result much sooner than when you work with adults. Okay, adults don't bite you, don't kick you, don't yell at you. You don't need to change diaper. Sometimes, okay, if you teach the third generation, the university, maybe yes. But like if you work with kids, there are some advantages and some disadvantages. Every age has something to be happy about. But yeah, kids, to me, is the best investment. Yeah, best investment to let them teach the languages for, and now I have to say, for better future. Not only for their better future, but also for our future. Because we need to create a new generation that will be respectful and you know what I want to say, right? Okay, so questions? No questions?
I'd like to say something about the picture.
Say something about picture.
Actually, I really like taking out the kids with Johnny, and while we were walking, and it's like a parade, you know. And the babies, they like to socialize. Whenever they see some passerby, they will say, "Ahoy, ahoy!" Wow, it's amazing, interesting.
Dana kindergarten is at the same driveway with the Chinese consular. And every time they go for a walk, they stop by Chinese consular and they 早上好 and they're on the window, oh, 你好. So it's really so nice. So they also have this Chinese consular on the way, so they can even practice their life. Yeah, so exactly, yeah, the walk time. Every single minute of their time. Maybe you want.
Just you did mention that how to teach kids that I cannot understand you. Can you explain what specifically about it? Any specific ways to deal with it? As a kindergarten Chinese teacher, you're talking with the kids a lot, but it seems to come up with concepts. It's your setup.
So how to teach them? And that's that concept that I show you that comes with like the pocket of the things that you can be able. But for example, we go to eat, right? Let's say take them to eat, and sometimes even kids are yelling to me, "Pai dui," right? Because the teacher told them "Pai dui," and they help them organize them. So on the third day, the teacher say "Pai dui," and the kids already line up. Because, isn't it? So yeah, like a little master whoever was to me like, "Pai dui," like sorry. And then we go, and then they're sitting, and you ask them, "喝水,喝水." Of course they understand. The kids' brain can understand by logic, right? Because the adult really need to write it down, really need to put the vocabulary, but the kids have this intuition by changing the voice, right? If I tell a kid, 不可以, they don't understand. If I say 不可以, it will understand, right? Or if I say 好了 or 好啦, right? So it's also about this, and kids, this is the way of learning mother tongue, right? I didn't show my baby like, "Oh, my son, this is water," right? So they get it automatically by behaving to them, using the language as a tool, not using not having a Chinese lesson, but having the Chinese language as a tool to be used. So that's the thing that you with the language, not with flashcards, not with something, but with the words, and of course sometimes you need to show them, right?
The language is both sides communicate. What you said is just one side to be ignored. I have a question about if a child come to me and ask me a question in Slovakia, but I don't understand what will I do.
Give me an example. You're outside?
Because I didn't remember what Slovakia said to me because I don't understand.
You shouldn't understand. That's logic, because kids also have to understand that you don't understand. You also have to be able. Yeah, I know what you mean. So, for example, kid come to me and tell me in Slovak, "I want to draw," right? And you don't know what it says. You say, "Ja chcem kresliť." You have no idea what is it, right? So you go and find out what they want. So you can ask them like, "This one," and you take them to bathroom. They say no. Okay, go back. They say 喝水. They say no. So you keep, and then you ask them, "Okay, show me what do you want," and you lead them to show you, and then they bring you to the paper, right? You need to also try to understand, to work with the kid's brain, right? So the kids want something, and you hold the hand, and they say, "Let's show me what you want," right? Or they're crying, so you say, "Why you cry?" Say, "Oh, or you say, "Oh, mama, you cry because of mama," and they say, "Yeah." I say, "Okay," and you can say, "Oh, mama, and so on. You just speak. Yeah, they don't understand. You say, "Oh, mama will come soon. Mama is in the car." You speak it in Chinese, and they just heard mama, and they slowly, day by day, will put it together as a full concept by understanding more and more words. But follow the kids' lead. So even they don't speak it, but of course, like you cannot expect kids to speak fluently after half year. First they understand. First they know what you mean. First they follow, and it starts the language. They are able to use the language after like the simple sentences. Yeah, 上厕所, right? 喝水, 谢谢, and so on. They use this after like 2 or 3 months. They should be able to use this 谢谢, 你好, right? This basic they know it. But like the full sentence, it really takes maybe 1 or 2 years to be able to tell you something. But this works when you start with the age 2. So now, for example, at kindergarten, you have many kids that they are at the age 2. Best to work with, best, because you can see the result. Now, for example, I know that the other kids, like 3+, they are easy to follow you, but you will see the difference. It will be more difficult for them to memorize as much as the younger one. You will see it later. That there is a difference when they start learning at the age of 3 and when with the age of 2. But you cannot expect them to, like, yeah, to tell you something. But you will see like how quick they memorize songs. And if you put the right concept, let's say now it's farm topic, so I'm going to choose the song about animals, right? And you sing them on McDonald's in Chinese. Do you have this version? Exactly. They know the song in English. So now they're gonna... Exactly. They know the melody, they know the meaning, and now they have this song. But it doesn't always have to be the same song with the English, just like, yeah, it can be another song, like which was like, why. They know like, they learn like, okay, which garden they dig, and they understand the words because we had the topic garden, right? So when you choose the song perfectly to the topic, they will also have to learn this. And soon, it's still early. It's still like the March, the kindergarten was open. It's still early, it's just end of April. And I already saw the results that you have, and it's great. It's more than I expected, like really. It's more than I expected for them to know. But you need to give them a year to really be able to see some results. Because kids are listeners, repeaters, but one day they will surprise you. It's just some kid doesn't speak, and then out of the sudden they start speaking, and then you will see like they can really speak Chinese, they can really speak English, but they always choose English as the first language to communicate. If you have a child, let's say a Slovak child that doesn't speak, and then it learns Slovak, Chinese, and English. Slovak is the mother tongue. And when they want to express something very fast, or they're in fight and they want to argue, they will always choose English. Why?
Because everybody speaks English.
Yes, but also everybody speaks Chinese and everybody speaks Slovak at the kindergarten. So why? Exactly, English is so easy. Exactly. To compare with Slovak and Chinese, it's super easy. So, and it's easy to pronounce. To compare with Slovak and Chinese, English is easy to, even for kids, they have some logopedical problems, with English they don't have problems. It's nothing hard to, right?
That's why the other day, that boy, Classic, he put it at the boy, Marcel, at the corner, who was grounded, and then he said, bad boy. Yeah, exactly.
He shouldn't say that much. It's like, no,
But he's learning.
yes, and kids doesn't have limits. Kids are very natural. They say what they think. So it's how it is. So follow the kids' lead. Let them. If you don't understand each other, let them lead. Well, like I have to tell you a story that just happened. I need to say that. Sorry, I have to say that because it was like so funny and at the same time so scary. Imagine Norris, right? He had a group of pandas. Pandas are aged 3 to 4.5, to 5. And the other teacher, Slovak teacher, was sick. And Norris get this group just by himself, and he was taking them out. And suddenly the cleaning lady was like, Dana, Dana, Dana. I was sort of me, right? Like, what happened? I thought that I don't know, like somebody cannot find the coat or shoes or, yeah, because they call me for every single detail. And I get there, and I saw Norris full of blood. So just to tell you, what does it mean working with kids, right? Chinese teacher. Group of, and actually it was Yukon that was half Chinese, and Yukon is able to speak Chinese, English, and Slovak two languages. So Slovak kids, Chinese kids, Azerbaijan kids, like all mix of kids, and Norris was a single teacher. And I get there, Norris was like, I don't know if it was his Givenchy or what, like, my Givenchy shirt full of blood. And then that kid, and he didn't know how to react, and he tried because the kids start fighting. And yes, and he was like, the problem is not his, the problem is parents, because they let kids the age of 3 play Batman and Spider-Man and Hulk and I don't know Avengers, I don't know all the name of them, but yeah, if kids follow some like a super strong, powerful man, of course this is how they play, right? And for notice, he was there trying to, like, he stopped them, okay, he fell, he broke his head, and I saw notice that moment, he was like super scared, but I have to say, it wasn't your fault, right? We know that, and you reacted pretty well, he took the child on the side, but still, so he could see all the other kids, and he was just like telling them to, and that moment he chose English to speak, because he knows that probably they will not understand. If he yelled at them very stressfully, but he said like, stop. But like everything can happen, right? So we just wanted to say that even accident can happen, so you don't need to be worried because I think it's gonna happen to our kids. So just you also need to work with this stress situation and be able to avoid the accident. And sometimes, as Ran said, sometimes kids just simply don't understand you. So you always have to use gestures, okay? Separate them, say, this is my favorite, 不可以, right? They understand everything. Even they my son told me, Mama, 不可以. And so, just speak and just follow the kids' lead. That's my advice. And if you have a choice to speak to any kid in any other languages, that you are able to use it because it's the best investment, best way to spend it, to let kids know what languages. More questions?
It's how many multilingual kindergarten here in Slovakia?
Where I have no idea. I know in Banska Bystrica there are 3. But only Dragon kids have Chinese. The others have Spanish and English. Now you're laughing. So you were not laughing that time.
She's asking me, what the kids speak fluency to you, how to react.
Don't answer, never.
Yeah.
Never, don't answer. Let them push them to explain you. And if they don't know, right? Like for example, the example with the pictures, like you want to paint, you want to draw something. Let them lead them and say, 你要画画. I say yes. I say no, 画画. Let them tell it. Before when they say, you give them, and then you lead them with the colors. Which color you want, let them repeat, and they will memorize.
Yeah, so I told the same. The kids only 6, and 吃饭、喝水、尿尿、拉屎、打架，然后还有什么妈妈，这些是。
他们打架。
对，如果就是他哭了，然后你就说谁打你了，就是你的手指谁打你了，他就马上会指他打了。对，不是打他，你就说不可以这个样子，要严肃一点。
It's very brand new experience.
Right, and it's just the beginning, and you do really great. It needs much more patience, and yeah, with kids, kids are also moody. You never know. One day they come crying, one day they come happy. So it's not like adults. We can hide our feelings, right? And we can motivate. Okay, go for a lesson. That's it. Of course, nobody's going to cry. But we can do that. But kids cannot.
One thing I have to admit is the kids, they are really, they're very smart. They know everything actually. So you teach them just that they like a sponge to absorb all the water. And they can feel if you love them, if you dislike them, if you hate them, they can feel. Okay. So I think they are really very smart creatures. Yes.
And more smarter they are because they are learning this way. This way. That's good. Okay. More questions? No.
Actually, I have one question.
Yeah.
It's just when the kids, when they grow up and when grow older enough to go to the primary school or the secondary school, what's the next? There is no like a Chinese program to just make them continue to learn Chinese.
You're like every single mom in my kindergarten asking me this. Me and Darren, we're gonna try our best to solve this problem.
Oh.
And try to solve because that's my dream to let this generation have, because they are options, but the options are like they are some places where they can learn, and also some schools, primary schools, that they offer Chinese, but the level of Chinese they offer it's still like the basic, and our kids, when they finish the program, they're already able to speak. You know, like I have to tell you, I try to learn planets in Chinese. You know, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and so on. I try to learn it in Chinese, and it's not difficult. It's actually super easy, right? Yeah. But I couldn't remember. Yeah, like I just, you know, it was something that I wasn't using daily. And we also had a space topic at the kindergarten, and we had it in Bratislava. And I heard a 3-year-old girl just naming planets like this. And I was like, well, like, it took me half a year and I still don't know it. And look at you, like after second day you're already in them all. Right? So you see the brain, the capacity of brains. After, especially after having a baby, then I feel like the dimension is coming in. Like, your pregnancy dimension starts. So like, no, just kidding. Don't be afraid of being pregnant. Okay, so I think that's it. Thanks for your company during lunch. Thanks for your time. If you want to know more, follow Dragon Kids Instagram. I'm a marketing manager at the same time. No, just if you have any more questions, just contact me. And when you have kids, please choose Dragon Kids. Okay, so have a nice training. You'll learn a lot. And hope to see you all soon. Bye bye.